Hey, what's up, guys? Dan Waymura, PushPress here. Just got off the phone with my SBA lender, Carlos, and I've got a few things that are very important to talk about right now that I wanted to get out as soon as possible. One, Carlos said he's been talking to a bunch of other lenders, and they're estimating that the amount of funds available in the loan programs that are out there will probably last, based on the demand that they're seeing, between 1 and 2 weeks, and then it will be gone. That doesn't mean that Congress can't go back and allocate more money, but it does mean that it will probably put a hold on all monies being released for a couple weeks if that happens. So what I want to impress upon you guys is it's super critical to get an application in now, meaning find a lender that is taking pre-applications and get in line now. Because I think the people that are waiting until the weekend or into next week might be so far back in line they might not qualify. Again, this is all speculation and based on information that the lenders are seeing in terms of demand, but that's kind of what they're talking about amongst themselves. Second, this is an ongoing thing. Carlos expressed this is why it's kind of important to develop a relationship with a banker even before that there's a crisis on hand, because when these things happen, you already have someone to call. So what you probably should do at this point is find a regional, local SBA approved lender or credit union in your region and reach out and start to make a connection with them now about getting an application in. The applications are online. I'll include it with this video so you can actually get things going. Another thing that was mentioned to me was, if you don't have your documents fully filled out correctly without a ton of hand-holding from the lender, you probably will get put to the bottom of the stack when the underwriter gets to it and realizes there's a problem. So it's super important to make sure all your documents are filled out correctly. And we're going to be talking about the PPP loan here specifically, because that's the only one where you're kind of like left on your own to fill it out and hand into a lender. So in a second, I'm going to share my screen and go over that document with you to make sure you do it all correctly the first time, because he's already told me that he's getting so many applications already that if he has to go back to you and ask you to fix something, with the amount of call volume that's coming through to all these lenders and the amount of just inquiries in general, it might happen in an hour and it might happen in 8 hours. And given the demand on this, that could be a problem, right? So let's get this done correctly the first shot. Cool. So what I'm going to do is share my screen here really quick, and we're going to talk about this application and kind of go through it. Okay, cool. So this is the Paycheck Loan Program application form. Now, the important thing to know here is for every applicant that's applying, you need to have a separate printout of this. So if you have 3 people who own more than 20% in your gym, you need to print this out 3 times. One of them is going to be for the entire business, okay? And the other 2 are going to be for the other owners, right? If you want to be super safe, you can print it out 4 times and just fill out the information for your business in one and each owner on the other 3. I actually didn't get guidance on that. I should have asked him for very specific clarification, but I think either way will be fine. The bottom line is this whole top section here, you only have to fill out once for the entire company. So everything from this first chunk with the business address and all that, down to the payroll, into the ownership, and the first chunk of questions, all of these, you only have to do once for the entire company. Everything below that, from this chunk of questions down, and this is why they broke the questions into 2, but they didn't really explain it. So this is kind of where the people are falling into trouble. Everything from here down, you need to fill out once per owner. And there needs to be a signature, a date, and a title, and all this per owner. Now, on the business application, the one that's being submitted with the top part being filled out, there needs to be a signature for the applicant business. So it looks like the way this is structured, you can put one of the owners and all of the business information on one, and on that one, make sure that it's signed by an owner of the business, as well as a representative of the business. For everyone else, like when you fill out your personal one, you're just going to answer the questions again from the second question block on, and then you're only going to sign the first signature. So your name here, date, print your name, and title. If you're doing this digitally, which you probably are, I would advise, and it's been advised to me, not to use some generic signature, like one of those, pre-signatory things to use to actually sign it. Even if it looks ugly, try and make it look as nice as you can in black ink, and fill out this other stuff just by typing it in. Same with the initials. You don't want to use some generic little initially thing that you've got saved somewhere. You want to actually manually initial each one using a pen stroke. So like I'm on a Mac, if you open it in preview, there's a way to actually pull up a pen and just draw. Just you use that to make your initials every time you make an initial. So let's go through this really quick. For the personal ones, what you need to make sure you fill out is these 2 check boxes are checked, ideally with, I think, no. And these 3 initials are initialed. One of these check boxes is checked, ideally, or I guess the no, and initialed. So every single answer here has a checkbox and an associated initial. So you have to make sure that you do all of those. If you miss one of these, your application is going to the bottom of the stack and it's going to get delayed. Once you get back down to here, you just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 initials, your signature, the date, print your name, sorry, and enter your title. Okay. One of those for every owner. I think that's gonna be the biggest thing people screw up on. They're probably just gonna submit one of these for the entire business and forget to include their other owners. So you need to have every owner fill out that questionnaire and initial and sign. Okay, cool. So that's the biggest thing we needed to talk about here. Cool, stopping the share. Yeah, that's the biggest thing we need to talk about here. Again, these funds might run out. So get an application going right now. If you're a PushPress client living in Southern California, which would be, let's say, San Diego South, I do have a connection with Carlos that I can make with you if you need it. He recommended that if you have a personal banker, go with them first that you have a relationship with. I'm going to caveat that with, if you think your personal banker is someone sitting in a branch at B of A, they're not really your personal banker. So you might want to talk to Carlos, or you might want to find another local regional SBA approved lender or credit union that's an SBA approved lender that isn't a massive global bank. I was talking to some people today that were trying to deal with Chase, Wells Fargo, or Bank of America, and they told that they were being told that they would have 2-hour plus wait times on a phone call, and that was the only way they can interact. Oh, one more tip. If and when you deal with a local regional lender, the best shot will be to find a personal contact there, find a SBA approved lender there who's an actual person, not like an inbox, and send them an email. They're all going to be swamped right now, completely inundated with requests. So don't try and call them. Don't leave a voicemail. Send them an email, ideally with your application included and an introductory letter of who you are and what you're looking to do. Or at the very least, send them an email saying, I'm looking for a lender. Can you help me? Here's my company, and give them this information about your company. All right. So again, if you're a PushPress client, go into the customer success chat and tell them that you're in California and you need a connection with Carlos if you need that. We don't have connections with all the regions across America. So you're going to have to go to the SBA lending site and find SBA approved lenders in your region. All right, guys, hope this information helps. We're going to keep our finger on the pulse of this and keep bringing you whatever information we can as it comes up. Thank you. See you later.